A woman once came to see the famous psychologist Dr. George Crane. Her heart was filled with hatred toward her husband. Dr. Crane asked her if she wanted to divorce him. She said, "I don't merely want to divorce him, I want to get even with him. I want to hurt him as much as he has hurt me before I throw him out." Dr. Crane came up with an ingenious plan. He said, "All right, then I suggest you do this. Go home and treat him as if you loved him very, very much. Show him all the generosity and love and kindness that you possibly can. Go out of your way to make him feel special. Praise everything about him. Assure him of your undying love for him. Tell him you can't live without him. And then drop the bomb and tell him you're kicking him out. That way you will really hurt him." Well, she thought this was a brilliant idea. So she went home and with all her enthusiasm treated her husband with an incredible amount of love, showered him with kindness and generosity, and shared with him as she had never shared before. She pretended to love him. After 2 months, the woman hadn't come back, so Dr. Crane called her and asked, "Are you ready now to go through with a divorce?" The woman replied, "Divorce? Never! I have discovered that I really do love him." As Dr. Crane wrote, motions are the precursors of emotions. What we do in a very real way creates how we feel, how we think, how we believe. Love can be a difficult thing. If you don't feel love, you don't feel like showing love. Jesus gives us the famous 2 great commandments. Love God, love your neighbor. Loving God is easy enough, I suppose. God is far enough away and doesn't seem to irritate us much. Oh, but loving your neighbor can be so difficult, especially if you live with that neighbor day in and day out. Our love is tested. Do we ever ask ourselves whether we truly love our neighbor? The great author C.S. Lewis, in his spiritual classic Mere Christianity, tells us something startling. He says, "Do not waste time bothering whether you love your neighbor. Act as if you did. When you are behaving as if you loved someone, you will presently come to love him. If you injure someone you dislike, you will find yourself disliking him more. If you do him a good turn, you will find yourself disliking him less." How different would this world be if we would all just act as though we loved one another? Love is not based on feelings. Love is being immersed in God and recognizing that all of us are immersed in the same God. When we truly comprehend that, we cannot help but loving one another. As all virtues, love too is a habit, and habits are strengthened, fortified when we practice them. So do random acts of kindness and love to those around you without even asking yourself whether you love that person or not. Just do it. Act as though you love that person. And in the end, you too will discover that you do. You will discover that both of you are in the same heart of God. Khalil Gibran, the Lebanese-American poet, said, "When you love, You should not say, God is in my heart, but rather, I am in the heart of God. And think not that you can direct the course of love. For love, if it finds you worthy, directs your course. Do we long for a better world? Do we strive to make it a better world through our actions, through our voting, through our smiles, through our greetings, through all those big and little things we do each day? If we truly long for a better world, a more loving, more caring, more peace-filled world, then let's allow ourselves to be directed by love. Let us be consciously in the heart of God and allow that God, that love, to transform us so that through us, God and love may transform the world.